Fengtai softball field in Beijing, China. Spectators came in droves to the brand new world-class venue to watch 10 days of competition by athletes from 15 different countries. The International Softball Federation's 11th Women's World Championship provided a chance for one team to earn the right to be called world champion, and perhaps as importantly, the opportunity for 4 teams to clinch a spot in the 2008 Olympic softball competition to be played in the very same stadium. On the morning of August 27th, media, VIPs, and TV and internet viewers were among those treated to elaborate opening ceremonies fitting of the sport's marquee event of 2006. Once the formalities were complete, however, and the call to action came, it was time to pick up the bats and gloves and play ball.
我宣布，第11届世界女子垒球锦标赛开幕。I declare the ISS 11 Women's Basketball Championship open.
Play began with the home fans getting a chance to get a look at their team right away against a Great Britain team that had finished 4th in their 10-team pool at 2005's European Championship. China's bats were hot as they jumped out to a 4-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning, highlighted by back-to-back doubles with 2 outs. Great Britain couldn't make any headway against a China team intent on making a statement right from Game 1, and the hosts added to their lead with another run in the second inning. Lee Chun-Sha had a bases-clearing triple in a 5-run bottom of the third that sent China on their way to a 10-0 victory. Another notable matchup from the first day was the defending world champion U.S. team taking on Italy, who won the 2005 European Championship. Team USA came out with a run in the bottom of the first inning, and pitcher Cat Osterman quickly took control from the circle to keep Italy in check. The Americans built up the lead for Osterman, scoring twice in the third and twice more in the fourth to make the score 5-0. Italy, however, broke through in the top of the 6th inning, although that run would be their only one of the game, as the U.S. went on to a 6-1 win. Osterman pitched the whole game to start what would end up being a run to the eventual tournament high in victories. Making their first ISF Women's World Championship appearance was DPR Korea. After a 3-0 victory over South Africa on the first day, DPR Korea set out on day 2 against the Americans and popular pitcher Jenny Finch. Team USA jumped out quickly on offense. In the bottom of the first inning, Crystal Bustos hit a 3-run double and then came home 3 batters later. DPR Korea tried to make a game of it, but was unable to mount a real threat against Finch and the U.S. defense. Then in the bottom of the 4th, the U.S. capitalized on some DPR Korea miscues, scoring 3 times for what would eventually be a 7-0 win and 2-0 record for USA. The home fans were anxious to see if day one was a sign of things to come for China, but Italy was also hoping to rebound from their opening defeat at the hands of the U.S. To the dismay of those looking on in Fengtai softball field, Italy got right to work, scoring in the bottom of the first inning when Chanel Garofalo singled to score Veronica Fontana. Little did the Italians know that was all they'd have in the tank for day two. China broke through the top of the fourth inning. Soon Lee singled to score 2 runs and give the host team the lead. Then Zhou Yi came up 2 batters later and made it 3-1, which is how the game would end as China improved to 2-0. Like DPR Korea, another country making their ISF Women's World Championship debut was Greece. They brought a 1-1 record into day 3 against Japan, who won on each of the first 2 days. Japan got right to work in the top of the first inning. Eddie Yamada singled to score Rei Nishiyama in later. With 2 outs, Saichiko Ito singled to drive in 2 more for a 3-0 Japan lead before Greece even had their first at-bat. The score stayed that way until the bottom of the 6th inning when infielder Joanna Gale singled with 2 outs to score Lindsay Basher and Lindsay James, but Greece couldn't finish the rally and Japan held on for a 3-2 win. The afternoon brought together 2 longtime sporting rivals as Canada got set to take on Team USA in a matchup of 2 2-0 teams. Pitcher Kat Osterman got her second start in 3 days for the U.S. and was locked in a duel early with Canada's Robin Mackin. With the team scoreless after 2 innings, USA got on the board in the 3rd. With 2 outs, Jessica Mendoza doubled to score Caitlin Lowe. The U.S. then put up additional single runs in the 4th and 6th innings, and Osterman took command over the Canadian offense. Mendoza hit a solo home run off reliever Kayla Holtz in the top of the 7th, ensuring a 4-0 U.S. victory. China was still unbeaten at 3-0 and in a potentially pivotal game for both teams as they look to keep their record perfect against 2-1 New Zealand. White Sox pitcher Cherie Cartwright kept her team in the game, with China leading just 1-0 after 4.5 innings. The hosts would not be denied though. Led by runs scoring back-to-back doubles by Lee Chun-shan and Liu Yi in the bottom of the 5th inning, China scored 4 times and held New Zealand hitless over the final 2 innings en route to a 6-0 win that gave coach Michael Bastian's squad a 4-0 record as round-robin play passed the halfway point. It was the last day in August, but would it be the last of the winning streaks for the tournament's unbeaten teams? Japan brought its 4-game winning streak into a game against Botswana that, after a nice start for one of the event's 2 African representatives, quickly tilted heavily in favor of the Japanese. Highlighted by this Eddie Yamada triple and 2 Team Japan doubles, Botswana found themselves already trailing 6-0 when they sent their first batter of the game to the plate. Japan continued their torrid pace in the top of the second with 3 more triples, including 2 more by Yamada, as they doubled their lead. Try as they might, the hole was too deep for Botswana to climb out of, as Japan improved to 5-0. Another Asia-Africa matchup soon followed. China versus South Africa would soon look a lot like the day's first game, although China's runs were a little more spread out. The host team scored twice in the first inning, then got 2 doubles and a Lu Yi 2-run single in the bottom of the second, and building up a 5-0 lead. South Africa worked to try to stay with the Chinese, but couldn't muster the offense showed by the hosts, who after going scoreless in the third, broke the game wide open in the 4th inning with 7 more runs, including 2 on this double by Yi. South Africa could only look for the ball to bounce their way on day 6. A showdown of European rivals played out under the afternoon Beijing sun as 2-2 Greece took on the Netherlands, who came in at 1-3 and hoping to stay alive. Joanna Gale scored Lindsay Basher in the top of the first inning, and while pitcher Sarah Farnworth kept the Dutch batters in check, sister Jamie scored in the 4th inning Ginny Jorganta's sacrifice fly to make it 2-0 Greece. The Greeks put the game out of reach with 3 runs in the top of the 7th. Catcher Stacey Farnworth and her Greece teammates nailed down victory number 3, keeping their heads above water as round-robin play headed into its final 2 days. The showdown between Australia and Japan featured 2 teams coming in at 5-0. The Aussies had given up just 1 run so far in the tournament, and Japan 3. As most would have expected, Melanie Roche went up against Yukiko Ueno. Fitting of such a matchup, the game was still scoreless after the 7 regulation innings. With 2 outs in the top of the 8th, Australia was able to drive in its runner provided by the international tiebreaker rule. Japan, however, drove in its runner as well in the bottom of the inning. But when Australia went 3 and out in the top of the 9th, Japan was ready to finish the drama by driving in its runner with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning to win 2-1. Two more 5-0 teams then took the field as China took on USA. Right out of the gate, the Americans took advantage of a China miscue in jumping out to a 1-0 lead in the top of the first inning. And